Hello friends, welcome to Developing on AWS. In this series we are going to talk about most of the essential parts where we'll cover how you develop things in AWS using Java. In our previous video we have already seen that how to create one account in AWS, then how to create one IAM user to start the development work. So if you have not seen that video, please go ahead and just have a look so that you can come to this video. So in this second video, we are going to talk about AWS CLI, which is nothing but AWS command line interface, and why we need AWS CLI. To understand that is important. So basically, when you'll be given one account in your work, I don't think that you will have access to the console because most of the time developer won't be given console access, and because you will be enabled with couple of services, like you might be dealing with only EC2, or you might be dealing with only S3, or you might be dealing with something else, that is Lambda. So you'll be given the access key and secret key, so that you will just go ahead and use CLI. You can browse all the services, you can query for anything, and the next thing is AWS SDK, so which we are going to talk about maybe after this, how to set up the SDK. Okay, in our next video we are going to talk about this. So in this video we are going to talk about these three things. One is setting up AWS CLI on your local machine. Second one, AWS CLI configuration. And third is we are going to talk about few commands through which we can access the AWS services. So then let's get started. So before getting started, in my previous video I have mentioned one thing, that how to avoid getting charged, because you have provided your credit card details and you don't want to get charged. Let's say any services you have opened up, or you have created any services and you don't know that you are being charged for that service. So how do you restrict that one? Okay, so quickly I will just go ahead and I'll just explain you how to set up notifications, so that if you are getting charged, immediately you will be notified and you can have a look to your console and you can just remove that service, or whatever you have started you can just stop it, or you will take action on that. Okay, so first of all you click here, then you go to my billing dashboard, and then once your billing dashboard open, here you'll find one option, billing preferences. Go there, then this is one option, receive free tier usage alerts. Okay, so you just need to click on this one, check this one, then receive billing alerts, this has to be there, then click on manage billing alerts. So in this manage billing alerts there will be alarm. So if you see, I have already created one alarm, so that's why it is saying currently it's okay 1, that means nothing wrong, and I have given $0.02. So if it is reaching this amount, it is going to trigger one notification to me and I can take action on that. So you can come to alarm stage. Here you can see this is one of the billing alarm. So in my case it is already there, so I'll just go ahead and try to modify it. If you see here, when it exceeds 0.02 USD, then notify me, and this is my mail address. In our previous stage, we have seen that where to specify this mail ID, right? So this is where once any services is, I'm getting charged for any services, I will be notified. Okay. So in your case, you might need to create a new alarm. You can give the name, then you can give description. Then here you can specify 0.01 or 0.2, and then go ahead and create the alarm. Okay, so please do that so that you'll avoid how to unnecessarily getting charged. Okay, so let's don't discuss more on these things. This is very quick and you can just Google it out. Okay, so our next part is AWS CLI. So yesterday I think we have already created one user and we downloaded it. Hope you remember. So this is the file that we downloaded, right? And the username was demo user, Then password, auto-generated password was there, access key ID, secret access key, and the console login. Okay, so for AWS CLI, first of all, you need to install AWS CLI on your machine. So to do that, just go here, AWS CLI, or you can say download AWS CLI. Okay, then you click on this link, and here you go. Here you will see download AWS CLI MSI installer for Windows 64-bit, 32-bit. So based on your requirement, you can download that file. Once that MSI file is downloaded, just double click on it and you can install that one. Okay, so once that installation is done, you are ready to go with AWS CLI commands. Okay, so in my case, I have already installed it just to avoid unnecessary time. So here I can see AWS-version. Okay, I think it's AWS-version. Okay, so here you can see the AWS version. Okay, so now the most important part is we have created one user yesterday, and we are going to connect to that user. So from AWS CLI, when you try to connect to that user or that account, they have given two things, access key ID and secret access key. So using these two only, we'll be able to connect. And ideally, we don't share the password with anyone, right? So definitely we are going to share this key ID and access key to the developer so that they can connect. So let's do that. And to do that, the command is AWS configure. Okay, so it is asking for AWS access key ID. So you come here, copy this one. You just better copy it here. Then copy it, go back, paste it. Then secret key you need to copy. Then this is the most important part, which is default region name. Whatever the user we created, let's log into that user first of all. I think this is the login link. Yesterday we have seen how to log into that console, right? So meanwhile it opens, let's go through the region concept. What is region? Okay, let me just log in. Demo-user, then password you can give. Okay, so these are the different region name and region code. Okay, this is nothing but the region code. This is the region name. So there are different regions, the data centers and the services, whatever the host or where the cloud is available, right? These are available in different region. So here, once you logged in, you can see this is currently in which region. This is US East Ohio. Okay. So this is the region name. So you need to Google it out. Here you can see for this one, what is the region code. This is the region code US East 2. Okay. So next you go ahead. First of all, check what is the region over here, and then go to your command prompt and you can see, you can specify that one. US is 2. Just make sure that you are giving the correct one. Okay, US is 2. Then hit enter. Then default output format. We want all the output format in AWS in JSON format. Okay, so it's better to go with JSON format. So as you are a developer, I guess you already familiar with this language. Once this is done, now we are all good to connect to this account. Okay. Okay, so let me do one thing. AWS S3LS. Okay. So once you are done with this configuration, now you are connected to your account. Okay. So what are all the buckets available in this account? We can see. If you see here, if I go to management console here, I can go to S3 service. we are going to discuss more about this S3. I'll have a separate video on this so that we can go and we can discuss more on it. But just to see how we can access to the account, how we can access to the services, I'm just giving you an example of S3 because this is the very simple one. Okay. So here you can see these are the buckets which I have already created. Okay. So why these buckets? Because after we created the account, right? We have not yet created any of the bucket. But why we are seeing this? The reason is these buckets are global to all. That's why if you see here, it is when you come to S3, it's global here. That means whatever the bucket name we have given here, these are globally unique. So you need to make sure while creating this bucket, you need to provide unique name, and all the accounts will be able to view the buckets over here. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's go ahead. So to our AWS CLI, because we are going to discuss more on this AWS S3 service later part. Okay. So now we are able to connect to the account, right? So how it is happening? Because next time onwards also when I will close this one, let me close, then open CMD again. And if I'll hit AWS CLI, okay, sorry, AWS S3 LS, we are going to get the response definitely. So how it is happening? So for that, what you can do, you can go here, go to the user. What AWS CLI does is it will go to user, then there is one folder called AWS. So if you will see here, if you see here, this config file has region and format, and there is another file which is credentials, and here we have the access key and secret key. So always the system is going to check these credentials and config from these files, and it will connect to the system. So now we are already connected. Let's do one thing. Let's at least create a new bucket in this account from this. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's create, if of you guys are able to. Okay, let me fine. Okay, so now let me create a new bucket and then we'll go and check in AWS console. Okay, so AWS S3 MB is used for make bucket. Okay, then S3 colon / some bucket name we have to give, test 101, or let's say let me try with test so that you'll get to know. What it says is make bucket failed because an error occurred, bucket already exists. When calling the bucket create bucket operations, right, it as because I said that these bucket names are globally unique because AWS provide the URL based on this bucket name. So that is why it is saying this has to be globally unique. So it is not allowing. So what we'll do, we'll give some name demo get 1011. Let's see if this is available or not. Okay, super. So now that bucket is already created. AWS S3 LS, and we should be able to see our bucket now if it is created, and here we are able to see this bucket, right? Okay, so next do one thing, let's create one file. I'll just create one file, my file.txt. Okay, then this is just a sample file, then let me save it. Then let's copy this. How to do that? Copy command AWS S3 cp my file.txt, then again S3 colon / you can give the demo 1011. Let's see if it works or not. This is just a cp command. If you guys are familiar with Linux copy command, it is just familiar to. So the way Amazon has designed this is very simple. Okay, so now we can again see that ls, then we can give the bucket name, okay, to just view that specific bucket. If you give AWS S3 ls, it will list all the buckets, but if you are giving the bucket name, what are all the files are there inside that bucket, it is going to list all of them. See, when it got created with timestamp, it is going to say. Okay, let's verify the same thing from our AWS console. We are already logged into that user, if you see. Now again, go back to this service S3. And here you can see this demo bucket 1011 got created. And inside that, my file.txt is already there. You can open that file. This is just a simple file. Okay, this is nothing like the storage services how you use in your project, like and there are it's very the way Amazon has designed AWS S3 service, it's very nice. Even we can put some static files and you can do your hosting of that, like static web hosting is there. So we are going to talk more about this S3 because it is very important and very hugely used service. So let's don't get into it from now, and we'll just have a dedicated video on that. Okay, and there are few commands how to install all those things. They have documented very nicely what is CLI, how installing AWS CLI. So all these documentations, it is very nice. You can go there and you can just go ahead and explore more on AWS CLI. So the most important thing is you have to do hands-on on this. Okay. So if you have not yet created the account, you create your account, set up the notifications, set up the alerts, and then get into the hands-on part. Because once you have done the hands-on, then only you'll be able to follow me and we can proceed further. Okay. So you can go here. I'm going to post all these links over there in video. Okay. Okay. So this is something I wanted to uh, tell you. Like we discussed, right? What is region? Okay. So these are Amazon Web Services, and when we create something, there are different regions. Okay. And inside that region, there will be different availability zone. That means I have created some service which is there in my Mumbai region. Okay, or sorry, Mumbai is one of the availability zone. Let's say if you have created one in Southeast or Singapore region, inside that we'll have different availability zones. So let's say in one availability zone something goes wrong, right? So that it will pick up things from other availability zone. So even S3 also, it is replicated in different availability zone, so that there won't be data loss and you can retrieve your data at any point of time. So there won't be loss of data when if you are using this AWS services. Okay, so that's it for the day. And guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe and you will get notified for my next video. We have not yet started on AWS SDK, which is most important part, where we are going to really code something in Java. So I'll try, because before getting into that, we need to cover a couple of things, the prerequisites. Then only we can get into it. So these are the important things you need to understand first. So in next couple of videos, maybe after 2-3 videos or after a couple of videos, we'll start working on the SDK. Okay. Okay. Or else in next video, we'll first set up our SDK, then we'll discuss on something else. So if you have, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you'll get notified and we can discuss further. Thanks for watching the video.